today's technique tip is something you've all been asking me for, and that is, of course, the penché. How can I get the 180 degrees penché, 6 o'clock, as people call them? You can get there. It's not as difficult as you think, and you've come to the right girl. This is something I'm actually pretty good at. So, my first thing I want you guys to think about is, what is a penché, actually? Yes, it's a fancy arabesque, but, right, what am I actually doing? I'm doing a split. Penché is a split, not on the floor. So, the thing about a split is the hamstring. Penché is not necessarily about that back leg, it's about the hamstring. This is what you're stretching. You're not, in fact, stretching this leg all that much. So, if you missed my stretching and flexibility routine, you can click it to watch, but basically I want you all, if you're struggling with penché, to start focusing on your hamstrings. Because if this is tight, you can't get down there, right? Arabesque, we're up, really has nothing to do with the hamstring. Penché does, okay? So really focus on the hamstrings, stretching them after class, making sure you keep them loose, and working on the split series I gave you, the lunge, grab the thigh, and then the pull back in that video. That'll really help you start to get the flexibility to do a penché. The other thing about a penché is the inner thigh of the back leg. When people start to do a penché and this happens, you're not going to get that pretty line, right? Penché is about that inner thigh reaching so you can get that beautiful line. So think, yes, the hamstring, but also that inner thigh really, really reaching and opening, and it makes the line. Because nobody wants to penché looking like this, right? Open the hips slightly, not too much. Open the hips slightly, inner thigh makes that penché, okay? So hamstring, inner thigh. The other thing, and I'm probably the only person on the planet that will tell you this about penché, so many people get caught up in being so forward that you can't actually get a penché. If you're too like this, right, and you're trying to be forward, 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 you can't get up. Yes, you need to be forward over the ball of the foot, but I want you to think of sending your hips backwards. I can't get it if I'm like this. If I send them backwards, I can get there. Can't get there if I'm like this, right? So yes, stay with the ball of the foot. Again, I could probably get shot for telling you all this, but you know, when you're with a guy and he's partnering you, penché, you can't be too far forward. He has nothing to give. You have to send the hips slightly back. I'm still forward on the ball of my heel, but the hips are going back, and that's how you get that line. Last little tip, penchés in the center, Giselle. If you've ever done Giselle, right? It can be really difficult. Same thing, forward over the hip, forward over the thing, send the hips slightly backwards. However, don't look directly down. You will, I guarantee you, you will fall over, right? The way to do that Giselle in the center penché is to look out in front of you, like 4 or 5 feet in front of you. If you're on stage, look into the wing on the floor, not directly down. You want to keep the back of the neck long. So, if I'm doing Giselle, I'm going to look out there, and I can penché rather than this, right? So you fall over. If you look out, try that. If you're warm, next time you do a penché in the center, look out. And you can do it rather than this. So, penché is your hamstring. Make sure you're stretching your hamstrings. Inner thigh takes you back. You have to release the hips a little bit. Send them away from you. Elongate, right? Not here. And try and go down. Send them backwards. And if you're in the center, look out. That's really it. All right, you guys? Again, any other technique requests? I've got a big long list from all of you. You can leave them in the box below. If you missed my video on posture, you can click it to watch. Hope you're enjoying the vlogs, if they're up yet, from Philadelphia. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.